I've tried to film this clip 3 times. That dog is the reason I've tried to film this clip 3 times. Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Sarah, and if you're returning, it is lovely to see you here again. Today I'm doing something a little bit different on my channel, and I'm excited to do this video because I'm finally thinking of different concepts to bring to my channel that are to do with books that I haven't done on my channel yet. And yes, some of these concept videos are already done on YouTube, particularly BookTube, but I do really like the idea of creating them for my own channel and just sharing with you guys my reads for those different concept videos. Don't know why that had to be so interwoven and weird, but anyway. Today's video is going to be kind of a spin on completing series I've started. I do plan on filming that video and I'll be excited to film that video, but it's a little bit different. Today I'm going to be doing a vlog of me finishing books that I've started. At the moment, I currently have 4 books on the rotation on my Goodreads, and they are Shadow Kiss, which is the 3rd book in the Vampire Academy series by Richelle Mead, Daisy Hates, which is the 2nd installment of the Magnolia Parks universe series by Jessa Hastings, In a Jam by Kate Canterbury, which is on my Kindle, and then Throne of Glass, which is, depending on the order you read the series, the 1st or 2nd installment of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. So I read Assassin's Blade first and now I'm reading this one second. I am very lucky that because I'm a mood reader, I'm able to pick up a book and then put it back down, and I will remember where I was at when I pick it back up. There are some exceptions. For example, the Throne of Glass series, I started with Throne of Glass and I just couldn't get into it, so I stopped that, went into Assassin's Blade, and I reread what I had already read of Throne of Glass because it made sense. That would give me more clarity into the part of the book that I already read. All I'm saying is it depends on the circumstances. So in this video, I'll see what I will kind of delve into. This will probably be filmed over a couple weeks, not necessarily one sitting, because I am a mood reader, as I say. We have 11 days left of October. It's October 20th, so I just finished Powerless today and I'm feeling like kind of ticking off more goals. I've been really good with my TBR and I can't wait to share with you guys how it went this month. But in saying that, I want to tick off more goals and complete books that I've kind of left on the sideburn because I've picked up different books that have come out or tugged at my interest a little bit more. And so the first one of this video, which is the longest actually, is Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. I read the first book, Magnolia Parks, the start of this year, and it wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. I don't actually remember what I gave the book. Gave this book 4 stars, and it wasn't that I didn't enjoy the plot or anything like that, but the Magnolia Parks book was very much character driven. There wasn't necessarily a plot, and I am one of those people that I need a plot. I need something behind it, not just very character driven. And so although I enjoyed it, it wasn't something I left me reeling or thinking of it after I read it. And so I didn't really jump straight into Daisy Hates. When I felt like I wanted to jump into Daisy Hates, I got to page 115 and then I think a new book came out, so obviously my attention was drawn to something else. Yeah, obviously they've got another installment coming out of this series and I just really want to read it. I just really want to knock it out. I just feel like I'm holding myself back. And one thing I've learnt with series is the first book can drag for me, and particularly because Magnolia Parks universe follows 2 characters, this is the first book of the 2nd character in the series, so it's kind of, again, another one of those dragging books. And so I think I've just got to keep in mind that once I get past this book, I might be more intrigued into what's going on in the story. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Either way, even if I don't really enjoy this series, I still will be keeping it on my shelf. The covers are the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my entire life, so you bet your bottom dollar that this will be on my shelf. But yeah, I kind of decided to pick it up after Powerless because I wanted something a bit more light, a little bit more easy to read, and Jessa Hastings' writing is very free-flowing. This morning I finished Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings, second book in the Magnolia Parks universe. I gave this book 4 stars and it is a solid 4 stars. As I was discussing last night, the plot picked up, which made me enjoy the book more because I really do enjoy a book with a plot. Finishing this book, I can now understand why everyone was miserable and ready for the next book. It literally leaves you so uncomfortable and so worried about what's to come. Like, not necessarily a happy ending, but like having everything tied off neatly is something I really enjoy in the book. I understand if it's not a happy ending tie kind of situation, but I just need things to be tied up, and the fact that none of it has been tied up left me reeling. This is the first book done out of the 4 books I have on my Goodreads at the moment that I am in the middle of. So the next book I'm going to be moving on to Shadowkiss, which is the 3rd book in the Vampire Academy series. Unfortunately, I don't have the audiobook version of it, so I won't be able to listen to it on my way to my final uni class of the semester. I will be starting it tonight. There's a couple days left of October, so I think I'm almost halfway through the book, so hopefully I can finish that by the end of October so that I can do my wrap up. I've got a lot of videos to edit, so once uni's done today I'll have a lot more time on my hands. I have a few little things I have to tie up with work. Just I've got a training course that we need to finish by middle November, so that is kind of my priority at the moment. So I should finish that either today or tomorrow, and then I'll be able to edit over the weekend. Yeah, I'm very excited at the moment. Now it's literally just going to be me reading, packing to move, and packing to go to America. I literally leave for America in 3 weeks, which is crazy to me. I've never left the country. That's a lie. I've left the country, but America's the furthest I've ever gone, which is insane. And I'm very nervous, but I'm also very excited. So I'm very excited. It's nice to be able to go to someone who understands. It's very nice.
Absolutely soaked. You're soaked. Oh, you're so wet.
Do you mind? I'm trying to film.
Oh, sorry. Soaked.
I know. You're drenched, sir. Oh, he's not soaked. You're so dramatic. It's raining at the moment, so toadstools is a little bit wet. But yeah, that's it for now. That's my little update. I'll get back to you guys once I probably start the next book. I will admit I don't remember anything off the top of my head that's happening in this book, but I know once I start reading it I'll remember. It's the same thing that occurred with Daisy Hates. I figured out what was going on once I started, so I'm very lucky I have that kind of brain pattern where I might not remember what a book's about, but I'm able to pick up where I left off even if it's been months in the making. It's just so satisfying being able to tick things off my Goodreads. Like, having them all currently going in progression on my Goodreads is really triggering me, so I'm glad I'll get that finished. And also, I forgot to mention, I reached my target goal on Goodreads. My Goodreads target for this year was 30 books. It was an additional 2 books that I put on my target from last year. I think my goal from last year was 28 books, I want to say. Yeah, and this year I put 30. I want to try and up it by 2 every year, but again, can't necessarily guarantee I'm going to hit it every year, but it is nice to know that I am hitting it. And I think it's because I started reading a lot more earlier on in the year rather than later in the year like I did last year. There it is. How cool. So yeah, I've hit my goal. I'm excited about it. So I have currently, besides Shadowkiss, Inner Gem and Throne of Glass on my list. So I definitely will be incorporating all 4 of those books into this video. Excuse my appearance. I apologize. I haven't actually spoken to you guys since I picked up Shadowkiss. It's now Sunday and I just literally finished it. Like, I finished it, went to the bathroom, got my camera. That's kind of where we're at. If you don't know anything about this series, I feel like I just came on and said what I was reading, so I'll just kind of give you a synopsis. The Shadowkiss is the 3rd installment of the Vampire Academy series, which is a YA series, and it follows Rose and Lisa. Lisa is a Moroi, which is a living vampire. Rose is a Dampfire, which is a combination of a Moroi and a human, and then there's also Strigoi, which is a dead vampire, so a soulless vampire kind of thing. And this book, not without spoiling anything because obviously it's the 3rd installment of the series, I gave it a 3-star, and it's not a terrible 3-star. It's definitely just a 3-star where for me it's YA, so obviously it doesn't have that oomph that I find kind of older fantasy kind of books, if that makes sense. It is still an enjoyable read, and Rochelle really writes very good fighting scenes and scenes of kind of, it gets your heart racing, like leading up to kind of destruction or potential deaths or anything like that. I am panicking. Like, she does a very good job of that, and I think that's why I do enjoy the series, because when reading the slow parts of the book, when it gets to the more intense parts of the book, I'm looking forward to it. and I don't know, for me, those parts are still elements of enjoyment in them. It's not completely boring where I'm like, oh my god, how many pages do I have left? And her writing style, you fly through. Like, the best thing, the font I love in this book. It's literally big, quick to go through. You're flipping through the pages quite quickly. So I would recommend this series if you're looking for something fantasy, nothing too heart-wrenching. I don't even know how I would say it because it's still gut-wrenching. Like, this book has left me on a cliffhanger and I did not expect the storyline to go the way it's going. It left on a cliffhanger and I am actually really excited to read the next book in the series. However, I'm not going to read it anytime soon. Probably later on. We'll see how we go. But I'm definitely glad I came back and finished it. I don't know, she just has a way of incorporating elements that are unique and different and cool and fun, and I definitely love the series. So it will be interesting to see what comes in the next 3 books because Rochelle does not hold back. She is ruthless, so I never know what's going to happen in these books. It is now almost 10:30 and I have not done anything this morning because of that. So I'm going to take a little break from reading. I did mention in this vlog that I want to read the 4 books that I was in the middle of. So we're now halfway through the books we've read. I have Inner Jam left by Kate Canterbury, which is 25% read, and then Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, which is 16% read. So I think my next book I'll move on to is Throne of Glass. I don't think I'll start that anytime today, potentially tonight, but we'll honestly see how we go. It's been a hot minute since I filmed or shared with you guys what's going on. I think the last time I left off is I was considering whether or not to start a Throne of Glass or Inner Jam. I have now started Throne of Glass. I'm about 25% of the way through page 104, chapter 14. I am enjoying it. I think it's very witty and cunning and I'm loving learning the characters, getting to know the place kind of thing. So I had to pack away my books because obviously we're moving, and so I've put Heir of Fire and Crown of Midnight in that packing bag so that if I want to read on with the series then I can do so. I honestly would love if I could to finish the series by the end of the year. It's highly possible. I did this with ACOTAR last year actually, where I started and I finished the series by the end of the year, and I definitely think it's possible. 7 books that I need to read. I'm currently on the 2nd book of the series, so I definitely think it's possible because this one and the next 2 books are kind of small, not small, but in comparison to like Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash, they are a lot less aggressive. So we'll honestly see how we go. But my only other thing is Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storm tandem read. I want to be at home for that. I don't necessarily want to tandem read on my Kindle because I don't know how that's gonna go unless I sticky note something somewhere to let me know. I'm trying to figure out where I put my laptop because I'm having kind of like a chill afternoon. Oh, there it is. But I thought I would give you guys an update on Throne of Glass as I haven't updated you guys in a while. I'm now almost 80% of the way through the book, I believe. I've just put the air purifier on because it feels a little bit dusty in the house, so I'm just going to put it on for a little bit. I'm kind of reading on my Kindle, but I love to see how far I am in the actual physical book. It's my favorite thing. 73% of the way through. I'm on chapter 40. I'm in the midst of chapter 40 and there are 55 chapters. So I have less than 100 pages. I have exactly 100 pages left, so I definitely will be able to finish this today, and that is the goal, so that I can finish my other book, because as I mentioned at the start of this video, I have 4 books that I'm currently in the midst of, and we finished Daisy Hates, The Vampire Academy, Shadow Kiss, obviously Throne of Glass, and then the final one's Inner Jam, and it will work perfectly because I don't actually want to start a new book as Iron Flame comes out on the 7th of November and I've pre-ordered that, so my goal is to have no books in that I'm in the midst of because I want to keep it that I don't have any books that I just stop and go on to the next book, and then after that I'll be able to smash out a few more reads hopefully, because I haven't started any of my TBR books which is fine, but at the moment there's so much going on that it's very difficult to read for long periods of time. Like, I do read at night but I fall asleep so quickly. Sorry. Sarah J Maas has me cackling. Like, I'm literally on chapter 44, right? I've got 10 chapters left. And I'm here, like, reading it, going, oh, it's a little bit boring. It's getting a little bit drawn out. Like, can we kind of get to the point? And as I'm thinking that, I turn the page, and lo and behold, Mic drop. Mic drop. Like, she literally, it's as if she's reading my thoughts. Like, I say something and then she does that thing. And I'm like, thank you, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I apparently have 2.5 hours left of this book estimated. So I would finish this book around 5:30, 6 o'clock if I continue reading it, which I'm planning on doing. We will keep you updated. I just thought I'd come and put that thought in there because it always makes me cackle. Like, I'm literally just reading going, okay, can we speed this up? She speeds it up, alright. I think I know what's coming. I think I know what's coming. I think I know what's coming. Oh my god. Okay. We're okay. Whoa. So, I just finished the book and here are my thoughts. I am very lucky that I'm a person that can just, I have a rating in my head, particularly it's solidified in the last 100 pages. I don't really need to think about it. I gave Throne of Glass 3 stars. I did thoroughly enjoy the kind of concept of the trials and things like that. However, I found it very drawn out at points, like unnecessarily drawn out. It could have been 100 pages shorter, realistically, and I just found even towards the end, it didn't pick up its pace like ACOTAR did, for example. Like, when I was always halfway through ACOTAR, the details kind of just flowed on, whether this still felt a little bit stunted. I'll still read the rest of the series because I do feel as though the next books in these series could be really, really intriguing. And honestly, to me, I'm finally so glad to be past Assassin's Blade and Throne of Glass. I did enjoy both the books for their own elements, and obviously there were negatives to those positives. But I feel like now that I'm kind of in the series and I'm not getting that baseline, I can get more into what is occurring in the world. But yeah, we'll see how we go. That's all my thoughts on it. It's now almost 4:30. Tonight I will start in a jam. I am 29% of the way through the book, 36 chapters in it, or 37 if you count the epilogue, and I'm on chapter 10. So it says I have about 8 hours left of the book and I'm on page 130. So we'll see how we go. I feel like I could finish this. I will finish this in the next 3 days. I don't know how engrossed I am. I really wanted to read it because it became like a popular thing on TikTok for a little bit and it sounded very intriguing and I am enjoying it. I think it's more of a slow romance, and I think every time I picked it up I wasn't in the right mood. Like, I was either in a fantasy mood or a specific romance mood, and this just wasn't hitting the spot. But now I'm in this kind of mindset of finishing books I've started. I might be more inclined to it. This was the same with Throne of Glass, Daisy Hates, and literally all of them. Kind of me, like, knowing that it was productive finishing a book I had started, I was more motivated to read it and more intrigued to see where it went. So it is now Sunday, and as I spoke to you guys last night, I was planning on reading in a jam between now and when Iron Flame comes out on Wednesday I think, because it's Australian, obviously we have to wait that extra day. However, I honestly cannot get into it. I don't know why I can't get into it, because it's got the elements that like Knockmount has, in the sense that it's following, you know, a younger girl, like her journey, her family life problems, and how she's come to be another adult, and then that journey with that single adult that's raising this child. Like, that kind of element of family single parent trope, I really like that trope, and I just, if I'm being honest, am finding it difficult to stay engaged with. I think it's purely because of the fact that it's just very much going on and on and on and on about things, and also to the book itself is almost 500 pages. Romances like that, like similar trope lines, can be very hit or miss with authors. So for me, I will have it on my Kindle. If I ever go to it, I ever go to it. But for now, I'm just gonna DNF, which means I am now up to date with all of my reading books that I started. Yeah, overall, we got a 4-star rating, 2 3-star ratings, and a DNF. So it was very much a over the place kind of reading vlog. I really enjoyed doing it. I hope I don't do a video like this again, because my goal is to not put myself in a situation where I am quite literally leaving unread like 4 different books at a time on my Goodreads. I don't want that to happen again. So I'm now at the point where I'm like, do I pick up one of my reads for, oh my god, what am I doing? So now I'm at the point where I'm like, do I pick up? I'm so sorry for all the lighting changes. I quite literally am not getting any good lighting at the moment. Like, I literally had to go and do my brows in the bathroom. But as I was saying, so I don't know what I want to do. So yeah, I can either go and read a book from my November TBR. I can see what I buy today, and if I find something that really interests me, then I can read that. Or I can just wait and have a little bit of a book break. But I just feel like I've got 3 days. It usually can take me up to 3 days to finish a book. If there's a small book, then I might as well just read that. Like, it'd be stupid not to, in my opinion. Yeah, that's kind of the end of the video. But for now, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for making it this far into the video. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.